Jared here. This is part 2 on the wheel bearing. On the first part, I showed you how to get the center nut or the center bolt out when everything's apart. You can put a locating pin in there and then get it out with your breaker bar. On this second part, I'm going to show you how to get the hub bearing out of the spindle without destroying it. Most of the time, you're going to pull it out. It's going to pull the race out with the hub, and you're going to destroy it, because that's the way that it's installed. Is you're gonna press the hub into the new bearing if you were to replace it, and then it all goes in one piece. So I have a couple different pieces to show you here. This is what the new bearing looks like if you were to replace it on this particular Audi. It's just a bearing. It's got these 4 different bolt holes here to bolt it into the spindle, and then the other part there is the actual hub. So the front of this right here is where the wheel will bolt to. This hole in the middle there, that's where the axle goes through. There's splines. So that's where the axle spins. And so the goal is to get this hub and the bearing out together in one piece. So then maybe if it's good, you can reuse it if you want. So no one ever does this. Everyone just pulls it out and destroys it and then replaces it with a good one, which you're gonna do 99% of the time. But so what I did was I already went ahead and got all this apart. I got these bolts loose. And in the back here, you see how it's loose, but it's still in there. I can spin this back and forth. All 4 of those are loose, but they're still in there. So there's 2 different ways that we can separate this steel housing from this aluminum spindle. What happens is it rusts and it corrodes and it gets really, really tight. Even if it's unbolted, it's super hard to get this thing out. So typically what you do is you would, you'd get your air hammer out. First, you'd pull this out. You'd like I said earlier, you're gonna pull the hub out, and then you're just gonna have this bearing part right here. And by that time, it's destroyed. So I'm gonna show you 2 different methods to get it out in one piece. The first method, both of them are with the air hammer. The first method is you're gonna have a hammer bit, and you're gonna take this air hammer around from the back side where those bolts are, and you're gonna hammer them out, not just one, but you're gonna hit the one, and then you're gonna go diagonally, and you're gonna hit the other one, and then you're gonna keep on going back and forth. Sometimes it comes out, the first couple hits. Sometimes you have to work on it for a couple minutes. It all depends on how bad it's seized in there. All right. The second method is you're gonna take your cutoff wheel, whether it's electric or air or whatever, and you're gonna put a little notch. You're gonna put a little notch in the side of the housing, which is not gonna hurt it. It's just a little notch. It's something for you to take your chisel bit on your air hammer. You'll take your chisel bit, and once that notch is put in there, it's on both sides. It's gonna knock it this way, and then you're gonna knock it on the other side. You're gonna knock it this way, you're gonna knock it on the other side. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is the easiest thing, the thing that I can do without putting cuts in both sides. You're gonna need to take those bolts out anyway. So you might as well just try the hammer method first. So we're gonna try that hammer method. Actually, I'm gonna show you from this angle so you can see if it's separating or not. Okay, most of the time that method works. That method is not working right now, so now we're gonna try the other method. You want to be careful with that ABS sensor. And then the other side. So basically, right now, it just takes a second, but since the bolts were screwed in just a hair, I'm just getting the bolts back out. They were just barely screwed in. But you see, it separated all the way out. So now, all I need to do is just finish screwing these bolts out, and then it'll come right out. All right, that's all of them. So now, there you are. The bearing is pulled completely out. All you have is, you got a little mark right there, you got a little mark right there, but this bearing is perfectly good still. There's nothing wrong with it.